Hello everyone, and welcome to ThinkBox Chris ranks every data battle in Kingdom Hearts 2 this time, from easiest to hardest. In the depths of Radiant Garden, past some of the most annoying enemies in the game, you come across a data center, where you can fight harder copies of the organization as many times as you want. Oh fucking joy. Rules here are simple and clean. Beat them on critical. That's it. No level 1, no arbitrary rules on how I need to get past them, just kill them. I did, however, refrain from using drive forms unless I absolutely had to, and if I did end up using them, I put them above the ones that I didn't need to. Oh, I also don't use reflect in this game, so don't worry, that's not a factor. Alright, let's get into it. Starting out as strong with old crusty hair himself, Lexus. I've heard a weird subculture of people who find this walking tank a problem, but I just can't fathom why. Block one attack and he's toast. The only real problem is getting to attack after the first guaranteed one that starts the fight. Hell, he did his little spin attack like 3 times in a row and I didn't die. So again, not a big problem. Him more so than anyone else prioritizes precise dodging. Honestly, he's at the bottom of this list because there's nothing he can realistically do that makes me panic. He just is. Raising the pot is the gambling man Luxord. Luxord is the most dangerous at the start and end of the battle. If you can interrupt the spell that changes you into a dice, you'll probably be fine. If not, then you'll just probably die, which is what happened to me. His ult is pretty easy to glide around and dodge everything until he just pulls you in for the final gamble. And I'm not bullshitting you, on the last slot I just closed my eyes and hope I got it right. And I won, so that's cool. One thing to note though that I've never seen people talk about is the time cards in this deck when you're just fighting him normally. If you hit them, his time gauge goes down. He literally gives you a way to make the fight go faster, and the more cards in the deck, the more time cards you get. Really, you should get rid of any and all cards that aren't the explosion ones because that makes him do the roulette game more often and thus ending the fight faster. But if you do everything right, Luxord can be done in about 3 minutes. Taking a wide swing up is Marluxia. The biggest threat this pink bastard has is the pools of rose juice he spits on the floor. Other than that, if you're at anything more than say level 30, you'll be fine. Reset the doom counter when you can, wreck him after, and he's toast. Much like Lexus, there's nothing that makes me fear for my life. The fight just takes longer. Even his ultimate is weak. If you run in the circle, a common thing you'll see with these fights as we go, you won't get hit and then just blocking his swings, or just getting hit because again, his scythe doesn't do damage, just affects the counter, you'll be fine. I don't know, just block his swings and attack after. That's really all I got for you, kid. Sorry. Speaking of weak ults, Xigbar. This motherfucker's hardest part is being able to do damage to him. He's just invulnerable half the time until the game tells you he isn't. But since you have Donald and Goofy, you get some free heals and presumably have items on, so the stun locking just becomes annoying rather than challenging. His ult is whatever. Either you get clipped and then destroyed to then heal, or you just run around to get back to doing normal shit. Also, this weird scope thing that he sometimes starts the battle with is just kinda boring, and I don't know if you're supposed to dodge or block his shots. Either way, it takes way too long and I want it to die. This lasted for like a minute and is just really fucking boring. Everything else is just jumping and hoping you're close enough to possibly hit him until he's dead. Dancing our way up, it's Demyx. This water boy is pretty tame, all things considered. I'm kind of breaking the rule of no dry forms because I used Wisdom Form for its fire AoE, but I didn't ever attack him with it, so I don't think that counts. If it does, sue me. If the timer at the end was like 45 seconds or a minute, this wouldn't be anywhere near as big a problem as it currently is. The biggest problem Demyx has is that he's reliably looped, and one good thunder will basically neuter him. Dodge through his swings and bubbles and you'll be fine. He does good damage, his patterns just aren't anything to get worked up about. Oh, and if you can get a music note and back him into a corner, you'll absolutely destroy him this way. One last tip, don't hit the water clones, use Blizzard. Otherwise, they'll hit you rather than die, which just seems petty if you ask me. Air dodging our way to death is Xaldin. Honestly, I don't get the hype around this fight. I want you guys to do me a favor. Block the 3 air balls, then block his next attack, spam triangle, then X, and then when he does his little glide thing, just fly in a circle and gather more jumps and then destroy him. After he does his wind cannon, try to guess when he's going to come at you and dodge. Hopefully he'll attack normally again, which lets you get more jumps and you can win. I honestly can't even joke about this win back, he's just really quick. Like, I died twice, and once was just me being dumb, and the second was when he came up and ate my soul when I was healing, so that's cool. He was like my 3rd fastest in the game. I don't know why, I just never got why everyone was so heated about him. He's just a load of hot air. Flipping to the middle of our list, Zexion. Zexion is only survived by his gimmick. If you can push the books of Donald and Goofy towards him, you can effectively loop him to keep trapping them while damaging him. Once you're in the book world, it's more about just focusing on his book to get a combo finisher so you can pop out like Pooh's house. During his little book roulette dance, it's kind of unnecessary to care about given that you can win without beating it. It's basically luck and reaction timing at the end of the day. When your command menus turn into a synonym factory, I tend to just hit all of them, especially the healing ones, without ever looking at Sora. You get healing until you can find the right escape command and then escape from the book. There's a reason Zexion has the lowest health bar, and that's because he's not all that threatening outside the book, and he sends you there so much that the devs must have known how bullshit it was. Just keep smacking the book out of his hand, and you'll come away with the trophy he never got. Throwing a tantrum at the wall is Saïx. This one's more or less a waiting game for him. You can attack through most of it, but that's way harder. Waiting for him to just get done being pissy at the moon or whatever is your best bet. He only really has his berserk mode and that's it. He doesn't really attack a whole lot otherwise, so if you glide around and avoid his bullshit, you'll be fine. I can't really say much else about him, he's just a kid throwing a tantrum, and the best way to stop it is to let them tire themselves out so you can smack the bitch out of them. Vine throwing us up to hell is the leader himself, Xemnas. Man-Sex is one of those fights I either flawless or struggle with immensely, there's not really an in-between. It mainly comes down to his first fight, the second one in my mind is way easier given Riku's healing and reaction commands. With base Xemnas, it's his constant lightsaber barrage dance that gets me. I can guard and dodge with the best of them, but Jesus these things go on for a while. After his little ballet show, he'll probably shock you, which is my favorite part since it's impossible to mess this up. Just hit triangle, then wait for the finish command, and he's done. The second phase is really easy given that it's mostly mashing triangle, and I've never had a problem with that not working. Dodging the light balls and then gliding over to him is a good opening I found. When he does the lasers, wait a second, then double flight, and then glide, and you should be fine. And from here, he should do his desperation move. If his second phase was all there was, he'd be way lower, but his first phase gets me so much. I think it's the size of the arena and how fast he moves. I don't know, all I can say is treat him like a hunter looking at a zebra and put him down. Shockingly not in the top 3 is Larxene. The big thing that trips up a lot of people with her is that you can't hit through her attacks. Her lightning barrage dance can be avoided and interrupted if you dodge to the left and immediately attack her. Her big turn ult move can be glided past pretty well if you just wait till she starts spinning and then glide. And her clones can be taken care of if you block and counterattack fast enough. Even that slam move she does has an opening if you avoid it. Overall, Larxene is dangerous, but her attacks have the most openings of anyone. I died a lot to her and even ended up using limit form to kill her, but that was more because I was just done at this point. I know she's hard, it's just more telling where on the list she should go. She's my favorite girl and my favorite villain. I'm just sorry she couldn't be on the top spot. Freezing his way into third place is Vexen. Evan has one thing that keeps him from being lower on this list, and that's anti-Sora. If he didn't have this little prick, the fight would be pretty trivial. Honestly, I find it easier to simply let the thing get to max level while you deal damage to Vexen and then kill it before going back to his psychopathic daddy. Speaking of him, he has this weird blizzard stalking at you attack while he throws them at you, and it's okay. Just wait for him to float at you and then glide away, it's not that hard. From there, you can either beat his face in or burn it off, depending on how you want to kill this masochist. Oddly enough, the dual wielder Roxas is the second hardest. And I mean, who can blame me for saying that? He was the only fight designed as only a data fight, with no prior baggage to work with. So they basically made this, then lowered the difficulty in the base game. Roxas hits like a truck and keeps hitting, and oh my god, just stop for a second. It's my favorite fight in the series, but I can't beat him without abusing limit form's healing. At least on crit. On Proud or lower, I can do it no problem. It's not so much his damage output as it is our defense and health stat, which I get that's the point of critical and all, but that's also my point, that if we had a better defense stat, it'd be manageable. Roxas has a really good pattern set, isn't looped all that well, and even his second phase is just his first phase with more light attacks, which is nice because it changes it up, but doesn't make it this impossible chore to get through. I will say it is extremely satisfying to do the whole steal his keyblades and then wreck him with them thing, especially in limit form. I wish more fights did stuff like this. And burning his way into number 1 is Axel. I beat him without dry form, so maybe he should be lower, but the amount of times it took me to beat him is unreal. Everyone else here was between 1 and 5 attempts. Axel took me at least 10, and that's all down to that damn pool of lava. Without that, this fight is no different than the one that starts the game, but it does so much damage here that it's infuriating how quickly you can get to 1 HP, and then he just buzzsaws you to death from behind. Although that is my favorite way to beat Buzzsawed. Even with around 60% fire resistance, the constant damage just escalates this fight for me. He also likes to juggle you for a while, more so than even Larxene with her lightning or Xemnas with his thorns. He just keeps throwing shit at you and kicking you in the teeth. Axel himself is easy enough to handle, but the constant damage is what puts him right at the top for me. Oh, and you can't kill him when the lava's active, so might as well get some free damage on the reaction command to stun him so you can finally snuff out his flame. And that's the ranking. I hope you guys enjoyed this shameless sequel of one of my more popular videos. I've got a Twitter, a Patreon, and even a Twitch I'm trying to be more active on. Check them out if you want. My name is Chris. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do what you do, and I hope you guys have a fractastic day.